Hey, welcome back. Super Sheep in here, bringing you another video, this time on a childhood classic, Starfox 64. Starfox 64 was released in 1997 by our good friends over at Nintendo, produced by the legendary Shigeru Miyamoto. It was also the first Nintendo 64 game to make use of that Rumble Pack accessory. You know, the one that made your controller go brrrr. Before that, controllers were lame. But I'm not here to talk badly about your grandfather's controller. I'm here to talk about this game. Oh, this game. This game's awesome. Let's just put it at that. Okay, so you guys know the drill. I'm gonna get started setting up the world and its characters. And then I'll talk a little bit about gameplay, different vehicles, power-ups, all that good stuff. Talk a little bit about the graphics, but I also want to talk about some of the sounds and some of the voice acting. And then finally, finish it off with talking about the good old music, my absolute favorite part of any video. So strap in, everybody. Make sure your seatbelts are fastened. Let's jump in that R-Wing and let's go! The world and the characters! Starfox 64 follows a mercenary band of anthropomorphic animals known as Team Starfox. It takes place in the Lilat system, in a world where the main villain, Andross, and his army of goons have caused havoc throughout the galaxy. There's a small quip at the beginning of the game that mentions the original Starfox team, headed by James McCloud, aka Fox McCloud's father, in which he led a team of Peppy Hare and another character named Pigma Dangar to scout the planet Venom. While there, they were betrayed by that same Pigma, were captured by Andross, and almost lost all hope, except for Peppy was able to survive, escape Andross's clutches, and fly back to Corneria to inform Fox McCloud of the incident. And that's where this game begins. Peppy ends up joining Fox's new crew, along with two other companions, Falco Lombardi and Slippy Toad, and they are contracted by the army of Corneria to defeat Andross. Peppy functions as an uncle figure to Fox, as kind of that mentor role. He passes on advice many times throughout the game. Falco is the best flyer of the bunch and is kind of a badass. Also a little bit of a dick, but he makes up for it and really serves to be an effective rival to Fox. And Slippy sucks, and I hate him, and so does everybody else, and he needs to go away and die, and please stop bothering me. I don't want to keep saving you from fucking people on your tail, Slippy. Can you take care of yourself, please?
Hey, what's the big idea?
So that's Team Starfox. Now, you don't really get any more characterization. They are all one-note characters. The point of the game isn't really about the characters, it's about the gameplay. Speaking of which, gameplay! Starfox 64 is a rail shooter. That means you are always constantly moving forward. You do control the R-Wing and can go up, down, left, and right, but you can only influence forward and backwards very minimally with boosts and brake. There are specific sections that are required for all range mode, in which the rails are taken off a little bit and you're forced into a little bit of an arena that you can fly around in. These are incredibly fun and spaced out throughout the campaign as well. And then you have the boss rushes. Now, none of the bosses are terribly difficult. You will face some bosses in the rail mode. You will also face some in all range mode. It really just depends on boss to boss. These are very fun, but again, none of them are all too challenging. Now, not only do you have the regular rail shooter sections and all range sections, you also have different vehicles. The main one being the R-Wing, my personal favorite, and easily the best controlling out of the bunch. You also have the Landmaster, which is like a tank. You can't fly, you can hover, but it is a ground vehicle that is used for a couple of levels that controls fairly okay. Definitely not as fun as the R-Wing is, but it serves its purpose. And lastly, and certainly leastly, you have the useless Blue Marine. Now, this stupid, terrible, awful vehicle is only used once in the game during a stage called Aquas. And it sucks. Oh my god. Okay, I need to talk about Aquas. Hold on. This stage is garbage. FPS tanks to about half of what it should be. The Blue Marine controls like ass. You basically just have to spam torpedoes and hope to god you don't just get hit by random bullshit that you can't see because the whole fucking stage is so dark! I hate it. It's the worst stage in the game. I used to think it was so cool because it was like kind of hard to get to as a kid, but fuck! This stage is awful. And to top it off, it has an uninspired fucking boss. Just go away. If this stage was completely cut out of the game and the Blue Marine was cut out of the game would have been better for it. Having something unique for unique's sake is not worth it when the thing that's unique is just straight up bad. Alright, now that I got that out of the way, we can talk about something that's a little bit better to talk about, and that's gonna be the power-ups. So these little gold rings are pretty cool, because if you collect 3 of them, your health doubles. Incredibly useful for any stage, especially the more bullshit ones. And they do supply you with a little bit of health, so even if you do already have 3, they're still worth picking up. Then you have these bombs. They are your secondary weapon. They're one use, so you want to hoard as many as possible. A couple bosses actually require bombs, but you fire them off in a straight line and then they have a big explosion and they kill a lot of shit. And then finally you have the laser power-ups. Now these are the best. One laser power-up will turn your laser from a single green to double green, effectively doubling your attack power. And if you pick up a second one, it will upgrade again to double blue lasers, and this essentially doubles your attack power again. These are incredibly broken, and you want them at all times. Now, if you take too much damage and clip one of your wings or something like that, or die, you will lose the double lasers, and you'll have to get them again. So be careful. Once you have it, don't let it go. Now, finally, when talking about gameplay, I want to talk about the multiple pathways, because this is the lifeblood of Starfox 64. This is what makes it so much fun to play. It also is what makes it possible to have multiple playthroughs, and that is multiple pathways, depending on what you do in a stage. So, sometimes you can complete a stage so successfully by killing X amount of enemies, and that unlocks the hard path mode, aka going to Aquas if you kill 100 enemies in Sector Y. The hard mode is how you unlock the true ending, so if you're looking to actually beat the game, that is the one you want to complete. But The medium and easy routes both have a lot to offer. So a lot of these stages are incredibly fun still, and you still have reasons to get medals in them or just to play them for fun. There are various win conditions. I mean, some of them even let you fail, and instead of being game over, you get knocked down to the easy mode or the easy route. So there's always a reason to keep playing. That is what makes Star Fox 64 so memorable and so fun, and how you can get so many hours out of it, even though a single run really only takes like an hour to an hour and a half. They are not long runs at all. Now, there is also a multiplayer mode. I did not actually do any of this for the video. I don't have any friends that would be willing to play this with me. I mean, it is pretty old, but it is pretty fun if you manage to get a group of friends and you want to mess around for like an hour. It's good old-fashioned, late 90s split screen multiplayer, and I kind of miss that. Those were really fun as a kid. Graphics and sound. So, there's no way to get around this. These definitely are dated. They had their place in time, and we have come so far since the old N64 days. It looks very blocky. The colors aren't very colorful. The explosions look kind of whatever. But these controls, especially for how the game looks, everything is incredibly responsive. And there are a lot of different variations in models for enemies and for bosses and a bunch of different worlds. And despite their shortcomings, there's still a lot of charm to them in that old 90s way, especially if you're a big fan of the N64. There really isn't anything more charming in this game than the cheesy voice acting. This game was remade for the 3DS, and yeah, sure, a lot of the graphics have been updated, and they even got the same voice actors to reprise their roles, but they're just so grainy and fun and over the top, and they had so much energy. The voice actors in the 3DS version don't have the same commitment that they had. They're awesome, man. I've got to play a couple just to show off the cheesiness. It really brings a lot to the game, and I still remember just some of the lines, like the cocky little freaks, or the fucking "you'll never defeat Andross." Like, they're so stupid, but in the best possible way.
Cocky little freak!
You'll never defeat Andross! My beautiful reward!
That's the whole thing about this game. It's charm in a little package, and it's a shame that Nintendo hasn't understood what to do with the Starfox property, essentially up from this point forward. Really looking forward, well, not even looking forward, it's not going to happen, but really wish that there would be another good Starfox game like this one. It's time to talk about the music! Music in this game is good. I mean, it's really good. I don't think there's a single bad track in the game. It actually made picking out a couple really hard, because I kind of just wanted to play them all, but I can't do that. So we're gonna start with a little piece called Medio. The song does a really good job of building tension. It starts off a little bit quieter, but it keeps on building upon itself, and it plays during the asteroid level, and it's one of the more memorable pieces in the game, for sure. Then we have my favorite theme in the game, and that's Starwolf's theme. Incredibly intimidating, and it's just epic, man. I mean, I main Wolf in Smash for years. This theme was my ringtone throughout college and even past then. I love this theme. It's great. It should be used in every Starfox property, and Wolf should make an appearance in every Starfox property. And if it's not, it is a disappointment. Then you have the boss theme. Now, this is the theme when shit goes down. It is epic. I love fighting every single boss when this is playing in the background. It's just so much fun and gets the blood pumping. And I don't think that they could have made a better boss theme for this game specifically. Now, this one's a little bit of a bonus because it only plays during the multiplayer aspect. It does not play during the single-player campaign at all, which is a shame because it is one of the best. It's one of the best songs in the game for sure. But I still, despite not playing the multiplayer in this playthrough for this video, still remember how awesome it was as a child playing through the multiplayer and just destroying my friends to this epic soundtrack. And gosh, just take a listen. Overall, this game is still super fun. I'd recommend it for, either the N64 or the 3DS remake. I personally prefer the OG N64, mostly because of the original voice acting and how grainy everything is. But, you know, if it's too much for you and you can't handle an older game like that, then the 3DS remake is more than enough to satisfy the same need. Anyways, guys, I don't really feel like I need to talk about this anymore. It is kind of a shorter game. Like I said, each run only takes about an hour to complete, so there is a lot there, and there is a lot to explore. And it's worth your time, especially if you've never played it before, or if you've only know of Fox and Falco from Super Smash Bros. And you've never actually tried anything in the series. This is the one that made them big. This is the game. As far as the next video goes, I think I want to talk about an RPG again. So, I haven't decided which one, but I'll try to have it out in the next week or two, and, obligatory like, comment, and subscribe. Looking forward to bringing you more content. With that, guys, Super Sheepin signing off. Peace!